What's up, Totem Pole Nation? This is Lambo and Matt's World of Sports coming at you with an NBA episode. We're going to hit on Mike Malone becoming one of the highest paid head coaches in the NBA, as well as, updates on the Sixers post the James Harden trade. Tyrese just dropped 50. Joel is still looking like an MVP level player. The trade seems to be working out. We will dive a little bit deeper into that and some other happenings in the NBA. Thank you, as always, to Sideline Sports Network for the platform. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Totem Pole Nation. And if you want to support the boys by getting some merch, the link is in the ticker. It's totempolenation.com. You can help us out if you want to. Let's get into it.
All right. Now, Denver Nuggets head coach Mike Malone, one of the highest paid coaches in the NBA. Denver Nuggets have been around for a very, very long time. If you go back when you was a kid, the Denver Nuggets with Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony, Birdman. That was a team right there. That was a stacked roster. But they didn't really win a championship. They made the Western Conference Finals in 2009, and they lost to Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, which ended up winning the championship in 2009 and 2010. But Nikola Jokic has been one of the best players in the NBA. He won back-to-back MVP. Wow. Who thought the Denver Nuggets was going to win the championship last year? Now, not surprised that they won it. But just if you think about it in the beginning of the year, did you really think, 82-game season, if you said right now, who was going to win the NBA Finals last year? Ain't nobody said the Denver Nuggets. Everybody was talking about the Lakers. Everybody was talking Celtics. Everybody was talking Miami Heat, Phoenix. Denver wasn't really mentioned early part of the year talking about winning a championship. Now, as the season progressed, yes, and they added some key guys. Mike Malone is actually the fourth longest tenured coach in league history, which is behind Gregg Popovich, Erik Spoelstra, and Steve Kerr. He has a great regular season record. Is at 58% winning percentage, and also is 37-31 in the playoffs, which is not bad. They also have the second best winning percentage in the NBA since 2018-19, only trailing the Milwaukee Bucks, which fired Mike Budenholzer last season. Like I said, he's third all-time in games and 647 and 375 wins among Nuggets head coaches, which, is behind Doug Moe and George Karl, but he's succeeded both, and he will continue to succeed. What are your thoughts on the Nuggets? Do you think they can repeat for a championship despite some key losses in free agency? I know they lost Bruce Brown to the Indiana Pacers and some other guys. Do you really think Denver Nuggets can compete again?
Yeah, as long as they have Nikola Jokic, I'm gonna be kind of comfortable with it. Aaron Gordon has, turned into a great part of a starting lineup. Obviously, his Magic days were highlighted by his dunking ability, but I think he's proven that he is he got paid a lot for a reason, obviously. You have Jamal Murray, obviously one of the best guards in the league. Michael Porter Jr., it's not guaranteed every game that he's going to score a lot, but you're damn sure that he's going to shoot the ball a lot. The dude has a green light at all times, it seems like. And then, Christian Braun turned up last year. And then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, is a classic 3-and-D guy. So would I predict for them to go back-to-back right now? I don't know. It's just too early. There's too many good teams to make that prediction yet. But I will say they are definitely still one of the best teams in the West. Mike obviously got this contract because he just led them to a championship. They only lost 4 games in the entire playoffs last year. They were dominant, and they're led by one of the, if not the best basketball player in the world in Nikola Jokic. So, Malone obviously deserves it, took a chance with drafting Jokic. No one really thought that he was going to be anything, and he saw it and believed, and now look where we are. So good for him. One of the highest paid coaches in the NBA. We don't know the exact numbers yet, but I'm sure we will soon. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure.
All right, Tyrese Maxey did drop 50 points against the Indiana Pacers 2 nights ago. The post James Harden is working right now. I'm not hating. I get I'm a Celtics fan. I'm not hating, but it's 9 games into the season. It's working right now. They won 8 straight games since losing their first game of the season, obviously. It's working for right now. The Clippers are actually 0-4 with James Harden. So they got rid of James Harden. They got a new head coach, Nick Nurse, who won a championship with the Raptors that beat that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant team with Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. The rest of the story is history. 76ers, I think, are a very, very dangerous team. I'm never going to sleep on them. They're a very dangerous team. Joel Embiid has done some things. Tyrese Maxey is very, very stepped up to the plate. What are your thoughts on a 50-point game? Not only that, but how confident are you so far within a 10-game season? I know it was 82 games, but how confident you are right now?
I mean, right now we're number one in the East. I'm super comfortable with the current state of the team. Now, do I think that's going to be consistent success? It should be if people stay healthy. Tyrese needed to take this step this year, especially losing so much offense with James. I know he didn't score as much last year, but he was a 21-point per game guy who was also dishing out 10 assists. So when you look at the overall offensive production that you lose with James, you need Tyrese to take that next step and become a star on this team. And that's what he's done this year. The Sixers are playing right now against the Pacers again. It's a tie game, 7 minutes left in the fourth. And, Joel already has 30 points. Tyrese has 19. And when he, in the fourth quarter, you want your star to not just have 19 points. But what's awesome about the depth of this team, D'Anthony Melton, we saw it multiple times last year. He's got 25. He can definitely step up on the offensive end. And Tobias Harris has 22. In the past few years, it's not something that you really count on, Tobias getting over 20 points since basically he's been with the Sixers. So it's nice to see that, the depth this year is working. We also obviously added Patrick Beverley in free agency, added Robert Covington in the trade. Paul Reed, we re-signed. And, he hasn't been getting a lot of minutes this year yet, which is a little surprising considering we picked up his restricted free agency contract. But what I do see on this team, say, like if they're still number one in the East by the trade deadline, there's no reason to make any sort of moves, right? Even if they're top two, maybe top three. But if you're anywhere outside of the top three in the East, I would not be surprised with the amount of assets that they acquired in the James Harden deal if the Sixers don't choose to move some of those guys and get a third star to go with Joel, Tyrese, and, be another consistent threat on offense. Because realistically, we have two consistent threats on offense for the Sixers. That's Joe, that's Tyrese. Tobias is a 15-point per game guy, which is great, but you pay him $40 million a year. You want a little bit more than 15. And then we've got guys that can sprinkle it in every game or so, like I just mentioned, going through the roster. So I would say that, the Sixers are in a comfortable spot and they have flexibility, which they didn't have with James. That was literally the opposite of what they had with James. He had him in a chokehold when he could have just not re-signed the player option. So I will say that the Sixers are in a very good and opportunistic spot going forward.
All right, that's it for the NBA. Next, Thursday night football should be prime time. Bengals versus the Ravens will actually be entertaining to watch. It's not the Panthers and the Bears. It's not the Jets and the Raiders. It'll be entertaining to watch. Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson. Not only that, Josh Allen is not playing up to expectations. And y'all want to criticize Dak Prescott? No, we got to talk about Josh Allen. It is time. It is time for all you people that have been hiding behind the screen and shitting on Dak Prescott for so long. I understand I'm a Cowboys hater, but I never said that Josh Allen was better than Dak Prescott. I never said that. No. He is inconsistent. He's great talent, but them turnovers and the offensive coordinator got fired and Stephon Diggs won't out. His brother tweeted, "Get him out of Buffalo." Ooh, and the first time when we made a playoff prediction, when I accidentally put Buffalo out the playoffs, and he stopped me and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." I might not regret what I said because they're 5-5. And I think they're like number 9 or number 10 in the playoff bracket in the AFC right now. So they're not even in the playoff picture. So I get they have injuries, but Stephon Diggs' frustration, firing the offense coordinator, and Josh Allen, we'll get to that in 5 minutes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Total Pro Nation. You need your merch, TotalProNation.com. We'll catch you in the next 5 minutes with Lambo and Matt's World Sports. All you haters out,